Hello, welcome to the Happy Hippie Intuitive. This is Nina and I am here today to show you my Rider Waite collection of tarot cards, and also tarot cards that are connected with the Rider Waite, where they have used the original Rider Waite drawings as a base for their decks. So if you are interested in tarot decks and if you're interested in Rider Waite tarot decks, then grab your cup, get comfortable, and we will dig right into it. Okay, so I have told you before, if you have watched my previous collection videos, that I do have quite the collection. I have been collecting for about 15 years. So I have about, well, over actually 150 tarot decks and over 200 oracle decks. So I wanted to show you a little bit of what I have and what I use for my readings, and maybe I can give some advice on somebody else, or maybe for somebody else, or maybe you'll find a deck that you haven't seen before. So if you're interested in that, then this is definitely the video for you. If you like what I do, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I also do readings twice a week, and I also have another channel where I do channeling work, where I channel angels and star beings and other light beings that want to connect. If you're interested, then you can find that link for that channel below in the description box. I will link all these cards below, and also with timestamps, so it will be quick and easy for you guys to find them if there is something that you're interested in, okay? So let's dive into it. Now, you know, the Rider Waite Tarot deck, it's kind of the go-to deck, I feel, for most tarot readers, and I have started out with one tarot deck in the beginning, but of course when you watch other tarot readers and you go to the store and then you see a little bit of a variation on the different decks, then if you're a collector like me, then of course you end up with a lot of them. So but I'm going to start at the very beginning today. So let's see, the first deck that I actually got was this deck over here, and that is the original Rider Waite from 1993, and that has this back on it, light blue. You might recognize that. Very good colors, quite thick in the cardstock here. I do not know, I actually think that this is still available, this one from 93. What you do is that you just Google also the year. So Rider Waite original is called the original Rider Waite Tarot, this one, okay? And this one was published in 1993. So this was the first deck that I got. Mind you, not exactly the same. I had another one, but I had written stuff on it to learn tarot, so I threw that one away and I got this one right after. So this was my very first tarot deck, okay? The original Rider Waite. So that's one. Now, there are of course different backings on all of these tarot decks, and that makes it interesting for us because especially when we do the pick a card where people choose from the back side often of the tarot decks, then that's quite interesting for us to have different backs. So the next tarot deck that I got then, that I really adored the back, is this one right here, and that is called the Universal Waite Tarot. And it came out in 1990 and also in 2004, at least through the US game system. So this is the back for that one. It's a little bit thinner cardstock, and you see the colors are far more radiant in this. It's more glossy, but that makes it a little bit more, of course, it slides, as you can see, quite easy. But once you have gotten used to that, I actually like this one better. Also because it shuffles a lot easier than the other deck, which is, of course, quite a bit thicker. So this was the second deck that I got, and this one I have used quite a lot. Now I also chose to get the mini version of that one. So I hoped that it would have exactly the same back, but actually it doesn't. But it has to have the same theme because it does have a star on it. And borders as well on this. Not glossy, it's matte. But it still has those radiant colors on it, which I love. So I got the tin box version of this one as well, which is of course called the Universal Waite. You see, some of them are called Rider Waite, some of them are called just Rider, and some of them are called just Waite. So they look all the same, but they're actually a little bit different, and they all have different backs, and some of them are very different cardstock and quality, as you may have noticed there. So that was the Universal Waite Tarot from US Games, came out 1990-2004. And this one came out 2019. Okay, so that's that. Moving on. Okay, so this tiny one, I only have the small version of this one, and I really want to find the bigger version of it. It's called the Rider Tarot. See, this again is just the Rider. It came out in 1971-2002 for US Games, and it has this back on it. It's just the normal, you know, I would say half glossy with the borders. The colors are maybe not as radiant as the previous one, but just nice enough, I think. It's clear pictures on this one. So this is kind of my travel deck, the one that I have in my purse. Whenever you go to a cafe and meet up with friends, you know, you want to have a little deck with you. So that is the Rider Tarot, okay? I have ditched the boxes on many of these decks because I use them so much. So sorry about that I can't show you the boxes of many of these. But that was the only ones I had that was not in boxes. From now on it's boxes, okay? Yeah. So I'm just gonna move these over a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now the next deck I got was the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot. And that is, of course, as it says in the name, radiant. It also has the stars on the back, but not quite as nice as the other back, I must say, unfortunately. But still nice, you know. And this is matte, but the colors in this one is, as it says, radiant. It's really, really nice, and they have adjusted a little bit on the images here. Not a whole lot, but a little bit is of course very recognizable from the original Rider Waite Tarot. So this is just a little bit of that deck for you guys to see. Okay, so I also chose to get the smaller tin version of the Radiant Rider Waite. I travel quite a bit. when I travel with my family, we have a cabin and stuff that we go to, so it's nice to have just a small deck with me, and so that's why I kind of have chosen to buy some of these smaller decks as well. Kind of the same backing here, the same kind of cardstock. The other ones that I showed, the two last one, is kind of half bendy, by the way, I forgot to say. Very radiant colors, very beautiful. It's a little bit bigger border on this one than normal, but that doesn't bother me much. It's a nice deck to work with. So I just wanted to show you that as well, that it is the same, of course, as the other, but it's just a smaller version in a tin. And of course that's very easy if you're going somewhere where it's water, in a boat or on the beach or whatever, to have it in a tin. Always good. Okay, so that's that. Now I also chose to get a hold of the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and the reason is of course because it's borderless. I know many people, many readers use this deck. This is the back. It's glossy. Half thick, maybe on the thicker side when it comes to, as you can see, the deck is quite thick. So it will corner ripple shuffle for me, but it is a bit of a struggle. If you don't have good fingers, then don't do that. So, but this is good images, and good coloring, but as you can see, it's kind of on the greener side. You see that? Most of the images have kind of a greenish color on them. I don't mind that. I think that's okay. You know, but it's different. It is. Of course, the pictures are a lot bigger here, so easier maybe to see the details. of the original design of the Rider Waite. Yeah, it's not very much more to say about that. You see that it's kind of enhanced quite a bit when you look at these images, right? So that is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. And I also chose to get the mini version of that one too. You know, when I'm out traveling and stuff. But that one actually, even though I was sure it was borderless, it actually has a border, okay? And the back is the same, but it also has the border. But I don't mind the border, it's okay. Even though I thought it was borderless, but you know, you can't get it all, I guess. So that's what it looks like, okay? So that's the Radiant Wise Spirit Mini Tarot. I think this is called mini actually, so it's not it's not the tin, of course. So mini version. Now I also wanted to have some fun backs that was kind of the original backs way back. so I had to go ahead and get the Centennial edition. Smith Waite, this one is called Smith Waite Tarot Deck Centennial Edition, and the backs I think is gorgeous. Now these editions also come with some additional cards that has been drawn by Pamela Coleman Smith, you know, for other things, for magazines and such that she did. So that's kind of fun. Okay, it's an explanation here as to where they were published and stuff. So that was kind of a neat little extra gift there that you get in this, and also in another one that I'll show you soon. Now the cardstock here is quite bendy, so you can ripple shuffle. Not as thick as the Radiant, as you can see. This is, you know, it's kind of an older look to it. You can see that. It's kind of a vintage kind of look. And I really like that. I think it's quite cool and very different from the other ones. However, you see that the images are a little bit more difficult maybe to see the details on this. But it is a beautiful deck. And yeah, it is kind of the vintage old look on it. So I do love it, I must say. I do. So that's that. That is the Centennial. And of course, I had to have the tin, the mini version of that one too, the tin. So I got that one as well. Now this is the same back, and it also has the same additional, no, not the same, but some more additional, other additional images from Pamela Goldsmith. And you see it's exactly the same. It's just a mini version of it, okay? It just had a couple of other images from Pamela Coleman Smith in it than the bigger version, okay? So that was kind of the only difference between the tin and the bigger version of the Centennial edition, okay? So that's that. Now, because I also saw somebody using these, the deck, it looked exactly the same, and the back was the same and everything, but then she turned it over and they were borderless. So I had to have this deck as well, which is the borderless edition, but this is also kind of the vintage style, okay? And it also came with some images from Pamela Coleman Smith, some other images. Oh, that was one of those. So it's always fun to get a little bit extra gift. But this is a little bit darker green. Can you see that? So I actually love this back with a little bit darker green on it. It says 2017 US games, this one. And you see they're exactly the same, but they are borderless, which means that they are, of course, a little bit bigger. The image is a little bit bigger. But it still has that vintage, old-fashioned kind of look to it. So you either kind of like it or you don't, you know. For me, I think it's fun to have all these different kinds of Rider Waite decks, I must say. But of course, again, I'm a collector, so that might have something to do with it. Yeah, okay, so that's that. And this one I did not get a tin edition of. I don't know if it even exists. I'm not sure. So at least I don't have that. So yeah. So that was that. That was the Borderless vintage style Rider Waite. And get them back in the box here so I can show you. Borderless edition. Okay. Now we're going to move over to other decks that are kind of, they have used exactly the same image as Pamela Coleman Smith drew, but they have made it a little bit more modern looking. Okay, so let's start. We can start with this big box first so I can get it away. It's the Tarot Black and Gold edition. Okay, so this comes in a big box, like so, and it has a good size book with it in different languages. Okay, so that's kind of fun, and it looks kind of fashionable, doesn't it? This is the back, and that's also one of the original kind of designs, but in different colors. And now these are really glossy because they're gold and black, but it is exactly the same. I'm going to try and hold it so that you can actually see the images. It's exactly the same images as in the original Rider Waite, but it's just black and gold. Now I found it very fun to use these cards, especially around Christmas and New Year's. It's kind of the bling bling period. Of course you can use them all year around, but for me it was kind of a fun thing around Christmas and New Year. So I'll probably use them again when we get to that part of the year. But you see, it's just exactly, you know, but they're really the reflection, of course, will come up if you use them in the video. Kind of difficult, so you have to mind that when you're making videos. So you put them down in a way that it actually shows not just the glare, but actually the image. So just to have that said. Okay, so that was the Tarot Black and Gold edition. I know that there is another edition called Gold and Black, which is the opposite way around, where it's black in the bottom and then it's gold. The image itself is gold. I didn't get that one. I just this one was enough for me. So, but I know there is. I think it is available on Book Depository, at least. Maybe also on Amazon. So that was the Tarot Black and Gold edition. Okay, that's that. Now let's get into the Neo Rider Tarot collection. Okay, there are 4 decks of these. I have only gotten 3 of them. Okay, I can explain what the last one looks like for you when we get to that. But let's look at the one of these 3 that I like the least first. Of course, they're fun. I mean, they are, but I thought actually they were all paper, but 2 of these are plastic. Okay. Not my favorite, but there's a very good guidebook here, I must say. They're fun boxes, and of course if you're at the beach or if you're at the bar and you want to give a reading, of course these are brilliant. They will not get destroyed ever. So that's the back, and these are the cards. So they are colors, you know, and for me that was, I was a little bit disappointed in the coloring here, I must say. It's a lot of orangey, yellowy, and almost a little bit over the top here for me, even for me. But, you know, it's fun. It's different. Might be something I use for Halloween-y or maybe even Christmassy times, you know. It's very bling bling, as you can see here. But maybe a little bit over the top for me. So that's that. And of course they're extremely bendy. So ripple shuffle is absolutely not a problem. And of course they can take a beating, these cards. So that's the plus side of all these cards here, is that they can definitely take a beating. I mean, I don't even know if it's possible to destroy these cards at all. But you see, ripple shuffling is very easy. Okay. So that's that. So that's the Neo Rider Tarot collection, and they have different names, these ones. Let's see if I can see if this one is I'm not sure what this one is called. They have actually different names, these 4 ones here, but I'm not exactly sure what this one is called. So you kind of have to look at, because they show the image of the cards as well, so you can see what it's like. And you of course read if it's paper or plastic. Don't make the same mistake I did. Okay, so the next one here of the Neo Rider Tarot collection is the pink one. I don't know if this is called the Rose or something. And what's also fun is that most of these are supposed to come with a little card with a little ribbon on it. Some of them did, some of them didn't, I must say, but that's kind of for the guidebook. So same guidebook, you know. And these ones are also plastic, but since they are kind of a pinkish, I like them better. So this is the back, very feminine, very glossy, of course, plastic, very bendable. But the coloring here is actually just blue and pink and a red. So it's a totally different color palette on these. It might be difficult to see a little bit here, but so it's almost the same as the golden black, you know, but it's, instead of golden black, it's pink and blue, light blue. Or gray bluish, kind of steel blue. Yeah, as you can see there. Yeah. So that's that. It's not very much to say. It's exactly the same images. Original Rider Waite. The major arcana has red lettering. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this one here. So again, bring them to the beach or to the bar. If you want to do readings, you know, they are unbreakable, these ones. Okay, so that was the Neo Rider Tarot collection, the pink version. Okay, now we get to the one that is my favorite of these, the Neo Rider Tarot collection, and the beige version here, or brown, or whatever you want to call it. Same guidebook. Now these are not plastic. But they do have that kind of rose petal thing going on, so they're a little bit difficult to, they stick kind of. That's the only negative thing. This is the back, a little bit gilded red there, and gold on the sides, matte gold. And they are actually just the beige or brownish back and black, kind of a little bit glossy black color here. So they are fun. I really like these. And the last deck that I didn't order is black on the back. It's paper, you know, I think it's more or less the same back as this one, but it's black and gold, I think, and also gold on the side. But the images is the original Rider Waite with the original colors. So that's the only one I didn't get of this collection that's called the Neo Rider collection. Okay, so these cards I like. I think they're fun, they're different, but the only thing, as I said, they stick. So you have to kind of work with the deck and shuffle quite a bit when you use them to kind of get them unstuck. So that's the only thing I could say that's negative about this one. Okay, but as you see, the images are exactly the same. So yeah, so that's that. So that is the Neo Rider Tarot collection. I do believe you can still get a hold of them through Amazon or through Etsy or yeah, Google, because I did see them on Amazon not so long ago, so you might find them there. Now I'm moving on to these decks that I'm showing you now. They are 5 more decks here. They are more or less the original, or they have been changed just slightly from the original Rider Waite collection. Okay, so I'm going to start with what's called the After Tarot. I know there's some one deck that's called the Before Tarot, but I don't have that one. And what they've done is that they have kind of imagined what did it look like right before or right after the image that Pamela Coleman Smith has made. So these are the After Tarot. So this is kind of what it would look like. So this is the back, beautiful. Very bendy, these ones. So ripple shuffle, no problem. And quite tall tarot cards, okay? But this is kind of what it would look like right after what Pamela Coleman Smith had drawn on the original, okay? So they have, it's more or less the same images, and you can of course very quickly recognize it as what it is, you know, in the original tarot, the meaning of the cards. But they have added a little bit to make it, okay, the next step, what would happen after. Like this one, he spills out the, the cup that he was offered. So this is kind of a fun turn of events kind of thing for me. You know, they mended the heart. See, they took all the swords out and they mended the heart. So it's fun. I really like this one. It's different. It's I mean, the colors are vibrant, and you see the images is, you can almost not see that it's not Rider Waite original. But of course, if you know Rider Waite, then you see it. So that's like this one, the original, they stand opposite and now they hug. Okay, so the Before Tarot I would actually like to have. It would be fun as well. And see what happened right before the original image from Pamela Coleman Smith. So yeah, so here she actually hugs the lion after just holding its head. Now she leans down and hugs it. So it's fun. I really enjoy this deck. I haven't used this as much in my readings though on my channel, which is something I'm probably going to do, because I actually really see slaying the dragon. It's fun, isn't it? So yeah, no, I really like this deck, so I'm probably going to use it more on my channel moving forward, also because of the back. I think it's so fun, and it will be beautiful for pick a card readings as well. So yeah, now this is the 10 of Swords. Isn't that interesting? Some people came to save him, you know. So it's kind of fun thing, and it takes the reading of the cards one step further. It kind of puts a new meaning into some of the cards as well, which is something I think is really fun. Okay, so that's that. The After Tarot. It's just called After Tarot. It's from Lo Scarabeo. So that's that. Okay. Okay, moving on. Now we have Tarot of the New Vision. So that's also kind of, they have taken their little bit of own take on what the tarot would look like from a different perspective. And the backs are very different from what you would think. Very original, very fun back, I think. And so here you see the Empress from behind, for instance. You see children playing with the swan. So it's a different take, but it's the same kind of style to the imagery, and you can recognize it quite quickly from being Rider Waite original. So it's almost, you know, but it's just from a different perspective, okay? Which also will give you a new perspective on the reading or on the cards. So yeah, I find them quite interesting here. I must say I haven't used this deck as much either. Actually, I should have. Yeah. Now you get the idea. So these are the Tarot of the New Vision. Okay, yeah, so that's that. Many decks to go through, huh? Yeah. always. You know, that's how what it's like when you collect. So, Tarot of the New Vision. Now I'm going to go over to something that I've gotten from a company called tarotcollectibles.com, and there are 3 decks. I just have to have a sip of water, just a second. Okay, so these are the same man who makes these cards is called tarotcollectibles.com. Okay, he's taken the original Rider Waite and he has made a fun spin on them. So the first one I got is called the Trippin Waite Tarot. Okay, so, and that was of course for me with my channel and with my channel name, the Happy Hippie, I had to have some hippie cards, of course. So that was the reason why I really wanted these. So this is the back on the Trippin Waite. The cardstock is kind of half thick, so you see it's quite thick, the deck, but it's not as thick as the Radiant Waite, Wise Waite. So and the images, they have taken exactly the original, but kind of made their own coloring and their own style to them. Sorry, just needed some more water. Have a sip of your coffee or your tea if you want. Okay, so the Magician. So you see, it is the same images, but they have done a little bit different here and there. And of course, the colors are totally different. This one is kind of fun. So for me, I just adore this sun card here. It's so funny. No, for me, it was a really fun, cool deck. It really goes well with my Happy Hippie style and make love, not war. Peace symbol. So, you know, all the pentacles are peace symbols. So, no, it's really fun, this one. I would definitely recommend it if you are someone who uses tarot cards a lot. And also he has given a little bit of extra meaning to some of the cards here because he has taken his own, see the Guru instead of the Hierophant. He's taken his own kind of spin on it and his own way of reading. I love this Tower card, don't you? Isn't that just gorgeous? So, you know, it's a fun deck, most definitely, and it's worth the money. It's, of course, kind of an indie because you have to, I mean, tarotcollectibles.com is the only place you can get this. So it isn't the cheapest decks, I must say. But for me, of course, it is definitely worth it. I just think it's really, really, really fun. So, yeah, so that has, that's the Trippin Waite Tarot from tarotcollectibles.com. Now, you could say that should have been enough, right? Why do I need this one? Which is almost the same. It's called the Groovy Tarot. Well, the reason, or the Groovy Waite, actually. The reason is actually, first of all, I love the backs. And second of all, it's borderless. So I had to have that as well. And he has changed it up even more. See, it's not the same. So some of the images are almost the same, but he has changed them up. See, even more planets and stuff like that. Some of the images are totally new, different from the Trippin Waite. So, the different tower. So you see, I had to have this as well. This is really Happy Hippie. Right? Don't you think? Really Happy Hippie cards. And I just, of course, had to have that. You know, my channel is called the Happy Hippie after all. And so I had to have hippie cards here. So I'm just going to flip through quite quickly here. You get the picture. It's so more or less the same Rider Waite images. Some cards are different, of course. But you can definitely see quite quickly that it is Rider Waite, kind of taken from Rider Waite. So that's why I wanted to include them in this Rider Waite collection video. All you need is love. Knight of Cups. I love them. So that was the Groovy Waite from tarotcollectibles.com. Okay. In there. Okay. That's that. And then the last one I got from the tarotcollectibles.com is the Winter Waite. And this one is, of course, a deck I use around Christmas time. And I absolutely adore it, and I love the back on this one. I just think it's so gorgeous. And it's borderless, which I love. Now, they came with 2 different extra cards, among other. This is the 3 of Pentacles, but I chose this one with a snowman on it. The other one was more kind of like the original. And the same, I think, is the Chariot. That's the different card here as well. But, so look at this. I mean, this is such fun deck. He has taken some different turns here and there. But you can see, I mean, like with the reindeer instead of the lion. Oh, I just think it's so fun. But you recognize it. You see that it's Rider Waite. You see the images, you recognize them right away. It's really not a problem. Happy holidays. So this is, see the Chariot. That's a little bit different from the normal Chariot. But no, this is a deck I really enjoy using around Christmas time, the whole of December, and even into New Year's, you know. Just discard nice or naughty. Are you on the naughty list or nice list? Oh, that's funny. So, I mean, definitely worth it. I think these cards are just so funny. And I like the colors. They're glossy, but I don't mind them being glossy. I think that goes with the season. It's supposed to be a little bit glossy around Christmas, right? So yeah, you can see that you can definitely recognize these cards as the original Rider Waite. New Year, Happy New Year with the Sun card. So yeah, use them around Christmas and New Year's for sure, or December most of all. So this is the Winter Waite. I hope you enjoy that. So that is my collection of Rider Waite Tarot cards. There will probably be more in the future. There's so many fun decks out there. So this was my collection of Rider Waite. I do, of course, have a lot of other decks which kind of springs out from the Rider Waite and has been inspired by the Rider Waite. But these cards that I showed you today are kind of more or less the same image as Pamela Coleman Smith made in the beginning, and that's kind of why I wanted to show these cards to you today. Okay, so that was it, people. I hope you enjoyed this little go through of the different decks that I have. I hope you appreciate that. And if you have any questions for me, then just write below and I'll help you in any way I can. If you have any questions about this decks or where to get them or whatever. And I'm going to make more videos like this about my tarot collection for sure. I'm going to show you my different indie decks as well one of these days. And maybe go into angel cards and maybe some astrological cards and have different kind of videos for different kinds of cards. Okay, so stay tuned for that, okay? So if you like this, if you like what I do, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell so you get notified every time I upload new videos. And thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Until the next time I see ya. Bye.